Hello.
Wow, hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is NgoVo Convo podcast. I'm Harrison, and I'm joined by Veronica. She's right over there.
I'm right here.
Yes, right there. We just want an excuse to talk about anything that entertains us, but really to clean up our never-ending backlog, which we are. It's end of season.
Yes.
But some would say, Veronica, that we are conversing.
Wow, like NgoVo Convo, NgoVo Convo, logos of Harrison's head. He's always pointing. Genius.
Right there.
Claps everywhere.
You know, this is what I come here for. This is the only reason that I jump on this. Let's be real.
For the validation.
Validation. Give me like that serotonin hit and then we're good. Because you can watch every episode of this on YouTube or listen to it as a podcast by searching up NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice. This episode is also sponsored by Olipop, but more on that later. Veronica, this review, it's actually it's relatively hype, right? I'd say it's like up there.
Oh yeah, it's up there.
Cool. Everyone's on it. It's great because we're going to be talking about season 2 of Solo Leveling. So if you have not seen it, it's on Crunchyroll. All 13 episodes. That's right. It's 13. All 13 episodes are on there. And if you haven't watched it at all, what are you doing here? Go watch the first season. We have a review on that as well. Really quick, really fun. Binge it. I think it'll be great. It'll turn off your brain action. You know what? Yeah, let's just get into it. Veronica, non-spoiler. How'd you feel this season?
I felt like the animation got a little better. Like a little bit.
Which is funny because online, actually, no, I think it did. But then at certain points online, people were complaining how it wasn't consistent.
How it wasn't, yeah.
Which I personally, honestly, at this point, just after watching just a lot, I guess. I think it's like one of those.
If you want to be nitpicky.
Yes, if you want to be nitpicky, sure. But I can tell, like, when it matters, they'll shoot it. Like, we'll talk about the spoiler parts, of like where maybe. So we'll give a little bit more explanation because I think I have a few. I remember there's a few episodes that were complained about, but overall, I agree that the animation went up.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, they got the budget for it, so why not?
Yep, they knew this was gonna get views for sure.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, I've read the manga. I finished it, so I kind of knew where they were going to end or about to end. But I think overall it was pretty good, and it was spaced out, I think, really well for a 13 episode season.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see, them keep going for season 3.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm just glad we're finally getting this, and I think season 3 is not until. Have they announced when? They just announced that it's happening, right? Or no?
Announced that it's officially going to be a season 3. They think it's going to happen in 2027.
That's right.
When it released, but maybe next year. But the director for this anime is working on other stuff.
Okay, so it's just scheduling. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's not a big deal. Yeah, and I think overall, let's be real. I think this anime, to me, people will be like, "Oh, it's like not simple," but they'll be like, "Oh, it's dumb in a sense," or I guess dumb in the sense that it's so basic and all. I was like, it is, but I think it gives you that power fantasy, but it does it just very direct. We just know it's gonna happen. They don't make the conflict too much. Maybe some people don't like that, but based on the manhwa, it's pretty I think it's pretty on point. My only gripe is
simple. It's simple.
Yeah, it's simple, and that's enough for me to just have fun watching it, right? And I'm just glad that people are having fun watching it as well. My only gripe is that it continuously some people. It's a nitpick that it cuts out certain things from the manhwa, but I wouldn't say it's huge plot points. I think it's just details.
Yeah.
And we're talking comedic moments or serious moments. There's just little things. And of course, I griped about it when we're watching it. Like when I was watching with my wife, I'm like, oh, it's kind of missing these things. But we'll see as we're watching, because it's like weekly, bi-weekly or each week. I was just, we'll see if they drop it, right? Like, or like allude to something. But yeah, some things they cut out. But I think for the sake of like the pacing, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I would agree with you on like the missing, like comedic, like funny parts. I do miss it because it's just so funny to see like the background of everything, and it's just like funny stuff.
Yeah. But
yeah, and also kind of the first time I was like watching clips in English dub for Alex. It's just so funny to like hear him.
I agree. I've done the same. This is the one anime where I actually do watch clips of dub because it's just so good.
Alex is really funny.
It's too good. But I also, music's good. I just love the music usage for everything. I just love that they got Lisa for the opening on this one, and Felix.
Yes.
Overall, just before we get, because most likely we'll get into spoilers, we're getting close. But overall, I think it was just a fun watch. It keeps getting more hype. Maybe the only thing is maybe it's going fast, but again, I think people also don't realize that this is about the speed in the manhwa still.
No, yeah, it is.
It kind of goes boom, 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 boom.
There's no whiplash. Like you just get it all up front.
Yeah, they're pretty upfront about it, that's why I love like seeing like TikToks or like shorts and stuff of people like, oh, you see like the opening and it's like, all right, we're watching Solo Leveling, then clip, and then all of a sudden the ending. I'm like, yeah, what just happened?
What's going on?
What? All right. Well, do you have anything else non-spoiler you want to add?
No. Let's get into it.
Okay. We recommend off the bat.
Yes.
So, right before we get into it, though, we're going to take a few seconds to have a word about our sponsor.
This episode is sponsored by Olipop, the soda your gut will thank you for. Yes, I'm talking to you, all of you. All right, have you ever missed that classic soda pop feeling? You know, the fizz, the flavor, but without the sugar crash and the guilt trip? Yeah, me too, you too, Harrison too. All of us. That's why I'm introducing to you Olipop, the soda that's bursting with flavor and good for you too. I actually have my favorite one here, strawberry vanilla. But the other weird one that I enjoyed was banana cream. I know, it's weird, super weird, but this is my favorite. Number one, because it only has 3 grams of sugar per can, plus it has 9 grams of prebiotic fiber. And you know what you need with fiber? To use the restroom. Hee. But yeah, that means that you're going to have a happy and healthy gut with every sip. And it looks like that they took everything we loved about classic soda and upgraded to a modern, healthy conscience person. Like you, like me, like Harrison. My co-partner. My co-host that's not here right now. So ditch the compromise and experience the soda revolution for yourself. Don't forget to use our promo code NgoVo15 NgoVo15 to get 15% off your first order on drinkolipop.com.
And we're back.
Wow. Hope you got that Olipop.
I don't, but I'm thirsty now after hearing you talk about it.
Wow.
All right, Veronica. This season is... it started off, let's see, just to recap. Let me see.
It started off with them being in like a red gate.
He came.
Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like ice, snow.
No, actually, it started off with him getting his updated look.
Yes, you're right. His updated look.
And I think it was just funny to hear like some people complain about like the look, his look. Because it's not exactly the same, which again, of course, it's like animation compared to panels, right?
Yeah, panels, yeah.
One random thing. Did you notice how like throughout the show, he doesn't actually have his full like black outfit?
Yeah.
It's like navy.
It's navy.
Like the first episode, yeah, he has like the cut, like haircut and like the dress shirt and all that. But afterwards, like his hair is a little bit different, but also like the cloak, or I guess the jacket he wears, it's not black.
It's not black. Yeah.
Yeah. Random tidbit. And I don't know if it bothers me or not, but I kind of went with it. I was like, I can see. I guess it gives a contrast, but anyway. So, Red Gate off the bat. I'm trying to think. It felt really fast, like we mentioned, where they just go through different parts. But I guess here, did you find that they got to expand on some characters more?
Yeah, there was actually a lot of anime content stuff, which I was like a little bit surprised about. I didn't think they would expand on like certain fights or like people's like backgrounds. But I guess they had time for that. Maybe that's why they cut some of like the goofy like comedic stuff out, just for those moments.
Yeah. And again, like I know we talk about it, but it's always fun to see like the chibi moments, right? Like that's why I do have fun like seeing that in like Demon Slayer, or like what's the recent one that had, or I guess like Dr. Stone and like
Dr. Stone, yeah.
You know, they have like their goofy moments, not exactly chibi sometimes, but goofy, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the vibe that they're trying to go for here, is like it's more serious tone. And they'll have the occasional like funny like one-liners, but it's not like it's like a really quick
not like,
in passing.
Yeah. And I mean, it's crazy to think that at the beginning of this season he was E rank too. Like he wasn't even S rank.
Yeah, he didn't get marked. He didn't get
marked as an S rank until like a couple episodes later.
Yeah, I think that's just the fun part, is like it's just seeing like how he's been trying to like just it, because he is trying to get stronger and all that. I think the one thing I will say is also, now that we talk about it, it's fun to see like, oh, he's going through the Red Gate, he's dealing with the elves, the dark elves.
Yeah.
And of course and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, cool, that's handled. Like now he has iron because it's that one warrior dude. I don't know, but it's like no, it's like the warrior that was on the party that was human.
The party, yes.
He dies and then like, or gets killed essentially, and becomes iron. Yeah, that's what it was. It's hard to explain to people, because I remember talking to some people and they're like, oh, the pacing feels super fast, because it's like, oh, I don't really know people, all that stuff. I'm like, you don't really need have to.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of hard to talk about certain characters, in the sense that they kind of give more, it's more like they showed people earlier, and then that's kind of the extent of it.
Yeah. I think what's great about this is that you get to see Jinwoo in like different group settings.
Yes.
Because, you know, it's like the hunters, a guild, and then like certain parties that he was like attached to whenever he went into these gates.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice to see that. But also mysterious potential daddy issues.
They have sprinkled that.
They have sprinkled that in.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because when they introduced that plot point, though, it was crazy in the sense of what's going on. Like, it's not just like, now it's not just about like he's getting stronger, he has this like system, but now we're like questioning, oh, does that tie in with like that whole scenario?
Yeah.
But they've only dropped that in 3 times, right? Like, essentially it shows like the dad comes out of the portal, and then Dong-soo is like that one that dude once, because he came back to Korea just to try to kill Jinwoo, right? But all of a sudden gets the call and he's like, all right, gotta go back. Talks to, because they needed a Korean guy, because he landed, Jinwoo's dad landed in America. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he did.
I
thought it was crazy because he like broke out.
Because you're questioning like what happened, because we knew he was a hunter.
Yeah.
And then he's been gone for so long. And then they drop a plot point at the end, like, oh look, there's some crazy strong people, but we don't know what's going on.
Dad's lurking.
I am excited for that plot point more. I have not finished the manhwa, so I don't know what's going on still on that front. But
I won't say everything then.
I think I finished up to a little bit after this season for plot wise, because and I don't want to say it because I'm trying to keep this anime.
So you're basically in the next arc.
Yeah, or we don't know if they kept that. Again, I can't tell what they're keeping and or dropping.
Yeah.
At this point,
you're basically in the next arc.
Yeah. But it's just fun to see. It is just fun to see. Like, you're right. It's a very good point to show. Like, it's not that the characters around him don't matter, but it's like seeing him put into certain situations.
Yeah.
I still love. So we're going kind of down the season, but I love like he keeps joining and doing menial jobs, right? So of course, like the director's like, what is this man doing?
What are you doing?
Because he does a mining gig, right? A couple times.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And gets the Ben Stiller like Zoolander treatment. Have you seen that meme?
Yes.
Where he's like it shows like, oh, Jinwoo going into work, and
he's like strutting.
And it's just a Ben Stiller in like, what was it, like the white tank top and the like blue pants and all that.
No, that was a pretty funny meme.
I'm just also then we can see Chahae.
Yes.
I forgot the names. It's funny because I still can't remember names that well, but
yeah, I mean the names are Korean.
For me, that's new, because I don't really watch drama, so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that affects you.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yeah, okay. But it's just so funny because like you have to remember, obviously, we watching Japanese sub with sub on, and then like they're talking about like different names in Korean, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is based on they are in Korea.
Yeah. Because I heard that like
placement.
Are they still doing? Do you know this sidebar? But do you know if they're still doing like a Japanese version where it's actually based in Japan, and like
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good
That's
question.
initially what threw me off, was like that's what I expected for season 1, but I don't think. But that's just a sidebar. Let us know in the comments if you know that detail, because I'm curious. But
yeah,
is there? But are there any characters that you felt like were introduced really well, or like they finally like got some spotlight here in the season?
I really liked the Japanese like S fighters, especially those episodes, and those just like one-on-one stuff, like fighting style tournament for a little bit.
Yeah, that was hype. Really cool. That was cool.
Yeah. No, but I mean, Jinwoo's my favorite, obviously.
Of course. I kind of wanted that fight with him and the S. No, actually, no. Okay, so this is kind of my segue to animation. A lot of the fights are actually fine.
Yes.
I think sometimes I just want, like, because we are getting way more than expected, more often than not. Like, they're giving us more details compared to the manhwa, right?
Yeah. Which is nice, I think, when you're anime only.
Yes, and I think people, if you're anime only, it's like, oh, comparing to other animes, yeah, maybe it falls flat on some parts. But I felt like we got a lot more. I got what I expected and more. Because my question was then, like, initially I was like, okay,
even with the butt crack animation.
I forgot about that. You sent that in our like.
I did.
I'm like, what the fuck? That's actually a thing. There's the other big fight, which is the one when he goes through the gate, like his solo gate, or his solo dungeon. Actually, I also enjoyed like how he couldn't ever say the demon family's name correctly.
Oh yeah, correctly.
Yeah, I forgot Esil.
It's like Esil. It starts with an E. I remember that.
Hold on. Let me see.
I thought she was like so cute with him.
I was waiting again. I just love seeing like how they portray certain people, and I knew people would love her because of how like almost golden retriever energy.
Yeah,
almost.
She's quirky.
Yeah, she was quirky. That's funny. I thought that was all really fun. Again, I think the issue is like sometimes it felt like reading took longer than watching. But like, and I don't know and that's normal, right? Because it's like, oh, normally like anime can encompass like 3 chapters or so. But here, I don't know. it just feels like the speed's going really fast. Do you feel that way?
Do you say that's like a pro or con to you?
I think it's a con.
Okay.
But again, it's like it's not exactly like it's just shoving through. It's like, oh, let's get through this as fast.
Yeah.
I just can't tell if it's like because the mono didn't have that much actually, and they were filling in gaps, and this is actually the content there.
I think the manga was just as fast paced as this anime.
Yeah.
Where I think they took out stuff. I think they made the anime a little bit more serious than intended, because the manga is actually pretty fun. They have a lot of funny parts to it.
Yeah.
So I think they took that out and then just put in like anime only, like fights or like background.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, the pacing wasn't that bad.
No, yeah.
I mean, obviously,
think it's fine,
like
overall,
if we had like a 24 episode season and they did this, like I would have said something. But since it's 13,
it's fine. Yeah,
too bad.
You're right. Actually, yeah. In terms of like, it is a 13 episode season. Not bad. Yeah, you're right. I'll take that.
Yeah. Now, if they did 11, like they originally were supposed to do, I would have said something. They actually extended it to 2.
People got confused where we're like, oh, we're getting the last episodes could become like 2 episodes and blah blah blah. And I think people got confused, like, oh, it's not a 2 hour special, or it's not a 1 hour special. It's actually just 2 extra episodes.
Just 2 extra episodes, yeah.
Because I remember I was talking to a group of my friends, and I was just like, that group chat was like, oh, we're getting like an hour long special at the end. I was like, I couldn't tell. The thing is, some of them watch dub, so I'm like, is it dub specific?
Yeah.
Because I know we're ahead. I know when you watch sub, it's ahead a little bit. So
by a couple weeks, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe? I have no idea. But so going back to animation though, sorry. The one spot I kept hearing people complain about was actually the Demon King Baron. Or Baron?
Baron? Okay.
Yeah. People were saying like the animation dipped. And for me, I wanted to ask you if you felt that way.
No, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't see a dip from what I could remember.
I felt like the style was the same.
Maybe the style, yeah.
But
it was fast paced though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That fight.
And if I were to rewatch and cycle, like actually like focus,
look out for it, yeah.
Maybe I'll notice.
We'll have to like rewatch and see.
Yeah, but do we just want to jump to it?
Yeah, why not?
You know what? Animation wise, dude, last fight.
Great, right?
And it was funny because I know it's like like people are like, oh, Ant King, and I was like, but because I read ahead, I'm like, oh, Beru, and it was funny because I was saying Beru the whole time. I didn't notice until like my wife at the end was like, oh, that's Beru because he gets named, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's Beru. That's right.
I like how you're like, oh, this is Beru.
Because she would be saying Ant King, and I would say, yeah, Beru, and she's like, but she never actually responded in the sense of like, who?
Who?
So I just
what?
went with it. So, but
that's so funny.
Oh, sorry. Animation one. We're sticking to animation specifically right now. Really good. That's when you could tell like it just shot up.
That was
I was
great.
like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love
that
seeing.
That was an intense fight.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love seeing people's reactions to the fight. It's awesome.
I love the reaction to the butt crack.
The butt crack was that fight, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, when you said it, I was like, oh, I thought it was Japan, but no.
For context, there is like a little bit, there's a scene in Beru versus Jinwoo. I think it's like episode 12 or something, or 11. I don't remember which one.
Not
which
12.
episode.
It should be 12.
Where someone stopped, paused, and went through each impact frame and noticed that the animator drew Jinwoo's butt crack. And on Twitter, the animator was like, that is supposed to be like a spine line. And he was like I drew it too low. Yeah,
it was supposed to be like that dip to like show like your back.
Show like he has a back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the back line technically. Like to show like, oh, he's ripped there. But it was so close to the pants that it looked like a butt crack.
Yeah.
But it was really long. Like the thing is, but it's just funny. I love that everyone and you were like, it's the butt crack. And I'm like, Oh, okay, I can kind of see it.
Yeah. And then the animator was like, sorry, everyone. Lines are hard to draw, and that's not a butt crack.
It's so funny. So good.
No, but I think animation-wise, the last fight, that's where all their animation, like their budget animation.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's when I'm like, oh, see, if anyone complaining about anything prior, I knew I knew that fight was going to be crazy. Yeah, so I was like, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to wait and see.
You're going to wait. You're going to be patient.
I'm going to be patient like I did with Blue Lock. All right. So all the big plot points, let's just recap real quick. Yeah, he becomes to 10th S rank, right? Mm-hmm. He actually gets to revive his mom, or not revive, awaken his mom.
Awake his mom, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was funny because it was like seeing people react to that. There's some like dudes that were like, I can't believe he's crying. Why is he crying? And I'm like, oh God, your response says a lot.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, God forbid, I wish my mom was alive too. And I'm like,
God forbid for crying.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, oh, that's because that was a nice moment. He did a really good, like, honestly, voice actor's been really good with Jinwoo. It's been crazy.
Yeah, no.
That moment was really. Moment. And then, of course, some people were expecting more out of it, and I'm like, no, I think it's fine for what it is. What I wish they did.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go.
No, this is a tangent, so you go.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, once he, woke up his mom, like, obviously she was gonna go back to her home life and like, be at home with her, minor daughter that needs to be taken care of. What else is she gonna do? I was like, what else are you gonna do? Okay,
but it's like, and then she's been gone for so long, so of course, like, it's like that kind of thing. But here's the reason why I say it kind of makes sense, but not really. It doesn't show. So the thing I wish they did more, pertaining to his mom, not the mom specifically, but the whole point of like him fighting these dungeons was to get the parts to get the elixir.
Yep.
And once they finally got the elixir, it's just like it just happened. Like, oh, cool, you got these parts, you got the elixir. But I wish they showed the progress of like him getting the parts for each one. Because he only got it in his solo dungeons, right?
His solo dungeons.
And they showed it initially, but they only showed that clip like once. But then after that, they didn't show the progress of like he fought the Demon King Baron for that part.
Yeah.
Or the final part, I think, and then he fought something else for a different part. I think the fat demon.
The fat from
it's they don't really show it, and they don't show like, oh look, he's working towards this goal.
Okay.
And then also it feels like, oh cool,
I got complaint.
Yeah. It just feels like he just got the elixir. He's like, oh cool, nice. Now I'm gonna go wake my mom up now.
Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, because basically it was like at the beginning he was like, okay, my mom's like everlasting, like sleeping, like eternally sleeping basically, and then I have to go, be in these dungeons and fight and then get stuff for the elixir, and then like it just happened. And then we're there, and we're happy again. So, okay, but I do get what you're saying.
It's like, it's not a big thing, because it showed, like, by the end, it's like, okay, cool, he woke her up.
Yeah.
It just felt, and the moment is very, like, emotional.
Yeah.
But, like, just the events leading up to it, you kind of forget, you could forget, because of the speed, right? Because they don't show too much, because it's just like, oh, boom, 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 boom. And I think that's why I'm like, the pacing sometimes is, like, not the worst. It's not bad. But it's detrimental to me for like certain details. But this is where the nitpicking goes into like what they're keeping and what they're keeping out.
Yes, I totally see that as that's a valid gripe to have.
Because if we're gonna, like, I can glaze over like how very fun, actiony, and like all this stuff is great. But I think what I enjoy, it's my algorithm now, in that you get the ones where it's like, oh, things that they left out of this episode or this part.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of big stuff, but it's still like enough to like kind of flesh out certain like people or like the shadows specifically.
Yes, they're great in the manga. They're like so great. They're like little babies basically.
They're like vying for like his attention essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like little kids who are like, hey dad, look at me, I did this.
I'm the best.
But they don't show it, right?
No.
They don't show the interactions, and most of the time it's just like, look, he summons them. And yes, it's badass. But it's like, I like the balance of like, oh, it's badass, but then they'll have like their like
little
heart-to-heart
moments.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their moments. Trying to think, is there anything else that I'm missing?
I don't think so. I think you covered it.
Yeah, I think it's just because like it's fun and it's very simple, and I think for me that's enough to be okay with it. And I think
to turn off your brain and just watch it.
When it comes to action, that's kind of where I'm at. So it's, I understand like we come from this I guess generation of like anime watchers that gets like Attack on Titan. The
Demon
the
Slayer,
depth
like,
from it.
Yeah.
But the Demon Slayer animation, and so it's like this. I feel like Solo Leveling does a good part in like kind of touching on both, like a few things.
Yeah.
But it's not as. And have you seen the comparison online where it's Sword Art versus this? But would you get it?
Yeah.
But would you get it?
But I wouldn't get it because I didn't finish Sword Art. Don't shame me. Don't shame me, okay?
No, the thing is, if I say anything, everyone's gonna be like, "Nah, Harrison's crazy. Don't watch it. You're fine." I'm like, "You're right. It's fine." But you need to also experience pain that I did too.
Cry.
But it's because like this is where I think it's a good example. Just to give you some explanation, I think Sword Art started like that whole like isekai like power fantasy like trope.
Yeah.
With the character and the harem, blah blah blah, all this stuff. So this
Not
is like Korean. The Korean. No, it's true because this is Korean.
True.
This is Korean version.
Yeah.
I know you don't watch enough of that genre, but there's like because I've only told you to watch the good ones. For like isekai or like power fantasy.
Oh, for
stuff.
isekai, yeah.
Like slime or like like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. ReZero, one that we haven't watched together.
I need to. All right. I think it's fine. That's a whole nother.
Let's write that down.
Topic. But this is like, I don't know if you've read other manhwas, but this is a trope that people don't realize that is huge for it. This is their equivalent to like Sword Art type stuff, where the dude somehow gets revived or like all of a sudden unlocks his power, and he's usually like the weakest one, and all of a sudden he has his power trip, blah blah blah. It's the same spiel. And oh yeah, he wears a lot of black. Oh, he's all of a sudden a genius, blah blah blah. It's the same thing. But I think
he's ugly, but he turns hot.
There's that too. That one too. Yes. That one is very manhwa centric.
Yes.
That's so true. But the power fantasy, I think what Solo Leveling does is it doesn't cut corners. It just kind of gets to the point, right?
Yeah, which is nice. Which is very nice, I think, in my opinion.
I think it's just portrayed well. And I think that's the thing I want to end on is like, even if you have some gripes about some of this stuff, I think it's still portrayed very well. Like it gets across. You there's not like you won't have trouble like understanding what's going on. You'll probably miss the details of like maybe certain powers like oh, why are they purple?
Yeah.
Like why are the shadows purple? He explains it really quickly, but then just brushes it off again.
He brushes it off, yeah.
It's like, oh look, new power, boom. And I think that's like I think the speed for me is where it's like, oh, they could let it sit. Oh, yes, because at the end, all right, this is where people got confused, or not confused. There's discussion about it. When he's about to get stabbed. Again, eye animation. Oh my god, they took a page out of Mappa.
Yeah. Oh.
Mappa's good with their eye work.
Yeah,
no joke. Do. But like when he's about to get stabbed by Bear, all of a sudden he gets a new skill.
Yeah.
Like it's
new
badass that
up.
Like it's. But it doesn't show like, oh, like he doesn't, in the manhwa it's kind of portrayed differently.
Yeah.
But
again, like he was working towards that skill in the beginning.
Yeah. And you don't notice it until. Yeah. Or you don't think about it.
It didn't pop up until he
but in like the manga or in the anime, it's like, oh, boom, all of a sudden he could do it. That's what it feels like. While like in the manhwa, it's like he has a point to like think about, oh, I should upgrade this one.
Yeah.
Type deal.
And I guess with the manga, I mean, you can just write more words and like explain more.
Yeah, and again, this just goes
which
back.
I understand, because like anime, you kind of you gotta get through it somehow.
Yeah.
In like X amount of episodes.
I know I may sound like I'm nitpicking a bit much, But I think it's just because I think that's what I enjoyed about the manhwa. And this just goes back to the classic like book versus movie conversation.
No, honestly.
Yes. I understand this. I'm not like, yeah.
You're just like being wishful about the next season.
I love solo leveling enough that I'm like, I just want people to understand why I like it. Why it's so good to me. It's not like it's a masterpiece, I'd say.
But it's good enough. It's above
up there.
Average.
It's good. It's a good action anime, and I've been enjoying it.
No, I'm excited to see more. See where they go.
I'm curious if they add, certain points. The one thing they kind of talked about Americans. I wanted to hear more about it, but I guess that may be a next season plot point.
I think it might be a next season plot point.
I think that's the point. Like, they just wanted to keep the scenario like there. Because, again, that whole thing was kind of sprinkled in already. It wasn't, like, detrimental to the plot. But, anyway. That's all I got. That's enough glazing and also criticism from me.
It's fine. They're valid. That's all I gotta say.
Got any other deets?
I mean, if you're this far, you've probably watched it or read it. Comment down below what your thoughts were. That's all.
Yeah, I've watched that last fight multiple times though. Like, I've replayed that clip on Crunchyroll so many times, on YouTube too, because I'm like, dang, this is beautiful. I can't. Are you
addicted to the butt crack meme?
No, actually, I keep forgetting, and then you bring it up. Yes, now I need to go check. Legitimately.
You're like, let's go check right now.
Yeah. On that note, I'm just gonna close it out. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on all our socials at NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo.
Yes.
Why did I feel like I messed that up? It's fine. But if you're on YouTube, hit all the buttons from right to left. Subscribe, mainly, but right to left, subscribe. Got it, right?
Yes.
Let us know how we're doing. Comment down below, like, what you felt with solo leveling. Do you feel like it's a second coming? Do you disagree with any of the points that we've made? Am I too nitpicky? Am I crazy?
For once?
Yeah. I like solo leveling. Okay, that's all I'm going to end on. Other than that, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.